Hello, beautiful souls. Thank
Hello.
you for tuning in to Heaven and Earth. Hi, Nix. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am good. Thank you. I believe we're taking a caller today, but I just wanted to give the finale on the rescue dog that we've been talking about, Sorrel, who has finally arrived on Sunday into Canada with much blessings. So I wanted to say thank you from Nix and myself and Emily at Heaven on Earth Healing to Cynthia and team of Lebanon and all that was involved from Rescue Dogs Lebanon, Canada. And I'd also like to say thank you to Dog Tales Rescue Sanctuary in King City, Ontario, a very beautiful, divinely sanctuary indeed for many animals that are being brought into both of these rescue places. So thank you, because Zorro has now officially entered into Canada and has now the freedom of love to become the beautiful, precious, loving dog that he always was and always will be. One thing I did mention last time on the radio station is that this beautiful dog, we had the pleasure of holding him in our hands. And all I can say is the amount of unconditional love that this dog has given us, even if it was just for a short period of time at that time. But, you know, having said what I had brought down before is about his disability, the disability doesn't define who this precious fur baby is. What defines who he is the unconditional love that he radiates. And I feel that with the ban that has happened September 28th in Canada, with a lot of countries being restricted in bringing rescue, I feel we should all join in together as one, as a huge army, to help lift this ban from rescue animals coming into Canada. Thank you. Do you want to say anything next?
Well, I also I would like to really emphasize that pets are a huge responsibility. They're not toys. They're the blood flows through their veins. When you take on such responsibility, please make certain you do it till death do you part, as you would a marriage, because they exactly are a marriage. If they're being passed around from place to place because you don't have time for them anymore, or you found a new partner, or you have children, it's very difficult. And I mean, it's very stressful for them as well. So not only, they're an addition to the family. So, and we need to treat them as such. To not have time for them anymore, unless if it's absolutely not within your power, and you have to let them go. Please help them find a home. I mean, either you're relocating to another country, or you financially can't bear the burden anymore. Please put them in a safe place. Give them away to a facility that will find a proper home. Sometimes when you feel like you're handing them over to a friend or an unknown, and you haven't really done your background check on these people, you're actually stressing the animal out, because that animal, pays for it. So a lot of the reputable, facilities do their due diligence and check, have background checks. And so they know when they're placing the dog, he's going into a safe environment and it's not going to stress him out. So please keep that in mind. I mean, when we're in it, put yourself in their situation, where if we were in another country with no one to speak to, no direction, no language, we're experiencing the same amount of stress, and we would want someone to love us enough to help us through this. Whether it's a month, a week, a year, 10 years, it doesn't really matter. So they're the same way. So please, I urge you that do not just freely give your animal away, or do not freely just purchase an animal. It's a very big responsibility.
Yes, I agree with you, Nix. And having been a part of, much behind the scenes, I've witnessed so much that is quite painful. I have to say this. So honestly, this whole beautiful journey, I thank, honestly, once again, Cynthia at Rescue Dogs Lebanon, Canada, for allowing Heaven on Earth to be a part of this journey, and being a huge part in the passage to freedom for Zorro. So thank you once again, Rescue Dogs Lebanon, Canada, and Dog Tales Sanctuary. You have truly warmed our hearts in more ways than you can imagine. Thank you for the blessing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We have a caller, Candace.
Candace.
Hello.
Hi, Candace. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm super wonderful. Thank you.
How can we be of divine assistance to you today, Candace?
I'm sorry.
How can we be of divine assistance to you today?
Okay. I really just wanna. I don't know. I want to know. Like I've been, I guess, because my girls both just had babies, so I've been stuck at home, like, doing the Meemaw thing, and been dealing with a few people, but it's like I'll deal with them for a second and I don't because I want to stay at home, but I don't know, I want time to be happy, like I'm not getting no younger. So I'm trying to see if there's going to be anybody that I'm seeing now, or is it just a waste of my time? What am I doing to it?
She's asking for the gentleman that
So
you're.
you've been alone for quite some time?
Yeah, just because I choose to. I don't know. I'm a loner, I guess. But now it's getting old. I guess that's what I should say.
Well,
I
you know,
don't trust no one. I don't. That's my problem.
okay, well, first and foremost, before you can attract a partner, Candace, you must be complete yourself. When you are half-hearted and half-minded, there's no completion to your energy. So when you look at your life and you say, you know, oh, I'm old, I don't trust anybody, there is an underlying issue that you have within yourself that you need to address before attract the correct person. It's like having a bed, an empty bed, and your body is all the way across the bed and there's no room for your partner, right? You always
Right.
say that, when you put your head down to sleep, you look at that side and you believe with all your heart and all your, and not with your mind, with your heart, that partner, you can feel his warmth, and you look at him and say, good night, husband, I love you dearly. And that's something that you want to start doing to attract someone. However, having said that, when you say, I don't trust anyone, then what you're telling that partner that is, or the empty space in your life, whether it's your bed or your couch or your dining room table, that there's no room for them because you don't trust your decision to bring a partner into your life. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. I think that when and I understand truly about trust, but it's important that you trust yourself, to trust a higher
Right.
entity to bring in that beautiful person into your life, or even whether it's a job or a person or anything. But if you're
Right.
constantly going to doubt because you've been through some trauma here, I see in your past, and if you
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
address that and forgive that, it's really difficult for you to move on because not everybody is the same way. And the one thing I'd like to address is that all of those things that you have been through in your life are learning experiences. And they're not meant for you to keep on your shoulder. They're meant for you to learn and to move forward. So this is where the trust factor comes in, because if you really trusted the fact that you want someone in your life, then you wouldn't have an issue with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And I thought I had, I guess, maybe not forget, but I forgave like a lot of people and thought that would help. But it seems like every time I get uh anything they say to me, it's like some part of it just doesn't sit right with me, and I just don't. It just I go back to my old, like that's when I start comparing. Like it makes me think about old stuff. Does that make
Right.
sense?
So absolutely.
I
So maybe
I don't
when
know
you
how to
go
get rid
back.
of it.
So Candace, let's try this. When you go back into what wounded you, um, you never forget, and we don't want you to forget, because these lessons are lessons you should never forget. It
Right.
doesn't matter what kind of trauma it is. There's something to be learned by that and to move forward. And, I mean, we could talk about many things. We don't have much time on the air, but, we could talk about a rape victim. Why did I get raped? Well, it wasn't about the act itself. It's about learning from that act. We can't stop from, bad things from happening to you, but you can always learn from that bad thing and move forward. And one day you may just save someone's life that has gone through the same trauma. And you'll have the right words to her, for her to say, because you've educated yourself. So relationships are the same thing. They're educating you on, on what you do want in this world. And it's real love. So never say, I never want that again. All you say is, I've experienced, but I do know what I want. Always say to yourself, I know what I want. And when you continue to do that and forgive everything that's happened and everyone that's happened in your past, then you'll start the road to recovery.
Yes. Thank you,
Okay.
Nix, for delivering such beautiful messages to our caller today. We are running out of time. If you would love to continue, please, you can private message us, or you can get in touch with Heaven on Earth Healing Center at gmail.com. And Nix would be more than pleased to continue on your reading at no charge of anything. Please, Nix.